Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday evening, which is another week of the JuvEssentials, where we've got a couple of things to talk about Rugani not leaving. Chiesa can't come and join this party, and Dougie pulling the squad together and apologizing for his shenanigans. And here to talk to me and you guys about it is German Dave and Canadian Dave. And I've got no fancy nicknames today because it's Wednesday. Just F it.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Are you having a hump day?
Are we?
I don't know. How's the chat doing? You guys having a hump day, or how you feeling? Feeling good?
Kind of tired this week. I'm a little bit pooped.
That's not good. That was me a few. I actually did. It was a few days ago. I never sleep in the middle of the day. Like nighttime's for sleeping, and that's it. I did the old man nap twice in one day.
Twice already.
I've been doing that a lot this week. Like, I swear, like, I've just been like, the moment I finish work, I just like power nap for like 30, 45 minutes.
Same for me.
I'm like, damn.
I typically do it.
I'm in my 30s, right? I'm allowed to have a nap now.
They're like 30s and I'm allowed to, damn it.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, guys, like and subscribe. Discord, Instagram, X, and Spotify. All those links are down in the description. We've got a few regulars in here tonight. Nice to see. We bumped this up a half hour earlier, so it's not as ridiculously late for Dave.
Yeah.
It's only 12:30 right now. It's not 1 o'clock, so a little bit better. Trying to make it work. Hopefully it works for you guys.
Half an hour is half an hour, right?
Yeah, it all counts.
I take that.
Yeah, his shop doesn't have AC. I know the pain, my man. Most aircraft hangars, whereas that's where I work, they do not have air conditioning. They have giant doors, but when it's hot out, that don't matter.
I was going to say that does not matter unless you want to turn on the afterburner to cycle some air through. It's the only way that's going to...
You just sit in front of the helicopter and just like let the wind come at you. And then you have no hearing afterwards.
Did you see the video of the guy at the Milan Malpensa airport? It was one of the two Milan airports. A guy ran onto the runway, or what is it called where the airplanes park? Like the parking
apron?
spots. Not the
taxiway.
Taxiway. Thank you. And ran across that and then got sucked into the jet engine.
Good for him.
Good for him.
You know,
your Wednesdays might be shitty, but it's not that shitty.
Hey, you started talking about hangars. I thought might as well throw that story in there. So
no, there's a few good stories. I didn't see it happen, but I was up in Yellowknife, that's up in the Arctic, and the power went out. That might have been our fault.
At least you don't have to worry about AC.
No, not up there, not in January. That's for damn sure. It's minus 40, which is also minus 40, same shit.
But did you have your heater with you?
It was comfortable. The point is somebody got sucked into. No, it wasn't sucked. It was a turboprop. It had the propeller. Got hit by a propeller that night, and he actually survived. Yeah. So not only did we cut power out to the city, but some dude got whacked by a running propeller in the same night.
Dude's built different.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, it's a fun world. So we're waffling a bit, guys. It is maybe going to be one of those nights. There is a bit of news. We'll talk about it. Obviously, we're having a slow transfer market.
We're broke.
We can't sell who we need to sell, and that's probably the majority of the conversation tonight. This is what we want to do. We really want to do this, but there's a couple assholes, namely Vlahovic, that just ain't leaving. We're not getting the money.
My only question, and what I'm interested in, is and we can go through all the rumors on X and all of that. Is there anything like credible with the links with Leoni?
Nope.
Credible. So, I mean, that's the kicker, isn't it? From all I've got is that we're in competition with Inter. Like, our name is in the pot.
Oh, if we're in competition with them, we already lost.
From what I've seen, Inter's been more heavily linked, where he's just been like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we're
because
interested.
Genuinely, that's the only thing I'm interested in, right? We need center backs. He's a center back. He is tall. He is young. He is Italian for Eddie and Primo. And dude, if that's an actual possibility, do it for 30 mil.
The problem is, I think they want 40.
30 to 40, yes.
Yeah, come on. It will be a loan with obligation anyway, so...
Now, here is perhaps the kicker. This is what's reported that has made some people believe that Juve might actually be ahead of Inter, or all other teams for that matter right now, is that they're willing to loan him back to Parma for the year. And then have that obligation to buy him afterwards.
Yeah, why get the center back now that you can use?
Well, because we don't, and we'll talk about that. Maybe we don't need them because we can't get rid of the ones that we have.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's if that's what it will take to beat Inter.
If it lowers the fee and we get him like an other, so then Inter, one of the other big clubs, I still do it, but yeah, like I still think we need the starting caliber center back right now. You can argue whether he would have been starting caliber anyways, but I would have taken a punt on the promise at least, but yeah.
Well, I mean, if we're going to open up the discussion, the show with center backs, right? Remember, we got Djalo that can't get moved anywhere whatsoever, too. So that's an issue. Yeah. And apparently Djalo has earned the praise of Tudor. So I don't think he's moving anywhere at this
Allegedly, point. Yeah. So Djalo, Facundo Gonzalez, that's a name that I saw today again. I don't know. Like, we're not getting rid of people. We're just going to keep on coming back to the fact that we're not getting rid of people.
Nope.
So perhaps this deal with buying Leoni and letting him play for Parma, this is something that's been done before.
Yep.
It could work. Because we see here Milan, Inter, Juve, obviously the big three, and abroad. But this is a kicker. You gotta look at the player's wish, right? We always have to look at the player's wish, and he wants to be a protagonist, basically be a starter, and he's not going to be a consistent 30-plus game starter for any of those teams right now.
Nope.
So from the player perspective, he might be like, "Yeah, I'm 100% a starter for Parma. Gattuso's looking at me. He's not going to be looking at me if I play for Milan or Juve, whatever, because I'll be on the fucking bench."
Yeah, I understand that.
This could work, perhaps.
Yeah.
And I kind of, even though it's not the greatest deal in the world, it might be the deal that we need. And depending on, if we have to put money up front right away and how much that would be, if it's like, hey, just put like a $5 million reservation right now, it's a little bit friendly. We'll see how that works out if it does pan out. If it's like, give me 40 million right now, go screw yourself for another year, and we'll talk in 12 months, then maybe I might have an issue with it.
I mean, I think I like it. Like, for example, if you are able to purchase and then loan back, and then you're able to get a discount because you're doing that, I think it's a decent move just because you can move for next season without, again, having the need to potentially sell now, or it buys you time effectively because you'll have a center back coming in. It's generally good business for teams that have 2 or 3 center back pieces that they're evaluating either to transition out of the club or figure out where they're at. And you usually have the next one coming up through a loan or getting regular playing time. I think it's from that perspective it makes sense, but I want to share this with y'all because I thought this was interesting that I saw on X here with the amount of, oh my gosh, the share button's so different now. StreamYard updates.
Yeah, StreamYard's got quite a few updates.
Crazy.
We're in the future, man.
So here's the potential lineups that we could see next season, right? So you have almost effectively 3 teams as far as depth goes.
He kept the same formation, or whoever wrote this
because it's Tudor. He's not going to change his formation. That's why. So it looks like your main starters are going to be David, Conceição, Yildiz, Cambiaso, Thuram, Locatelli. João Mario, and then Kalulu, Bremer, and Gatti. And then your alternates will be Rugani, Kelly, Cabal, Kostic, McKennie, Douglas Luiz, Weah, Nico Gonzalez, Coop Myers, and Vlahovic. In theory, if that's your starting 22, I think that's decent.
Yeah, it's not horrible at all.
It's not horrible. I think it's decent. And then you look at
too much money sitting on the bench, though. Right?
Yeah, that is also the issue as well.
That is an issue. Where's Kolo Muani? They didn't include him at all?
No, because he's a PSG player right now.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to cover that now or if you want to cover that later, but PSG was.
Yeah, let's roll into it.
Yeah, so PSG doesn't want to. They don't like Juve's formula for their offer because Juve was doing, I believe, 10 million loan plus like a 30 or 40 million buy option. It becomes an obligation if Juve qualify for the Champions League, and PSG said they need an easier obligation instead of top 4.
It's got to be like top 10 or something for him, I think. You know,
like I was just kind of like, wait, what?
I'm sorry, but Joao Mario is absolutely high up than Savona on the depth chart because Savona doesn't give you.
It doesn't have offense. It doesn't work the system.
No, it just the flexibility that Joao Mario gives you and his up and down running like helps you a lot. Savona, in my opinion, still turn him into a right-sided center back. Genuinely, I would try Bremer centrally, Gatti on the left, Savona right.
And Cabal is out for a little while as well. Maybe even into October. So throw Savona in there if you need to once in a while as center back. I think that's probably a better move. And then you can put him in the wing as more of a depth option. Well, it gives him some versatility.
We know he's bad defensively. We made a video on that. But
he's playing a wing back role. He's
but still, he gives you the flexibility. He still works up and down. Yes, he's not the greatest 1v1 dual destroyer, but he gives you offensive flexibility, and that was what we were lacking. Alone to get Bremer back will help us defensively, and then on the right-sided center back, whether it will be Kalulu or Savona, that's something I would try, man. He's huge, man. And Savona is not a slim guy as well. Like he has some muscle. That guy is huge.
It could be depending what you're looking for in that game or that phase of the game as well. Because João Mario is obviously gonna try to push forward a lot more his style. There's a lot of situations where you don't want your wing back pushing forward all the time. So that could be a situation.
And by the way, what you may be underestimating as well is him having chemistry with Conceição on the right side. Them building triangles together, playing off of each other, using the overlap, which we haven't done. Like, when was the last time we have done something like that? And they may have the chemistry to accomplish something on the right side, and Savona wouldn't be able to. Now you're taking the piss. Like, okay.
Nah, I don't know. I don't understand the logic that people still think that Serie A is this like dominant league right now. Like, we did not do well in the Club World Cup. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Saki was trash in the league this past week, so take that for what it's worth.
Who?
Arrigo Saki.
Oh, was he?
Yeah,
dude. I'm sorry, but Serie A is trash. I'm sorry.
What do you? Okay, it's reference point. Like, it's obviously better than the Albanian league. Sorry, Dash, but
come on.
No, but in terms of
the top five, it's there with France.
The playing style, revenue, everything. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's slipped a bit.
I mean, unless we're gonna use
Komoli kept it afloat. Let's say it that way.
He's been given nothing to work with, right? Think about it. Okay, we'll use the political thing again, right? The one government goes in, spends all the money, gives all these social programs, and then there's no money left, so they get voted out, and they put in the stingy guy. And
the stingy guy's like, we're broke as shit.
Yeah, so he just like has to make all these cuts and whatnot, and it works for a little bit until people get tired of the cuts, so they bring back the other guy that spends all the money, and it just goes in a cycle.
Yeah. So that's I mean, I think the biggest, like, for example, I don't really like have much to rate on Komoli to like be irritated with him on, because like you have unsellable assets and you can't really bring in any assets unless you sell assets, right?
It's hard. Yeah. He's in a real tough situation. Right
now. I'm not, my only issue that I have with Komoli is that he extended Tudor. That is the only thing that I have any kind of grievance, and I'm gonna trigger Skippy, but fuck it. But like, yeah, that's really kind of my only thing. And it's not like, oh, I hate him, he's terrible. Like, I just don't think Tudor is a great long-term sustainable option, right? So that's my only thing. Maybe he's one of those bosses that just kind of wants to keep the status quo for a season and evaluate it himself, and that's kind of where his thoughts are. But if that's the case, I would not. If I were to invest in players or personnel, I would invest in players and personnel that could potentially be ready for another managerial change. Right? That's
yeah. He needs to. I think you're right. The status quo needs to be maintained for the next 12 months or so, and see where we are, because we were excited last season that we finally got rid of most of that dead weight. Yes, we still have Arthur, but we got rid of most of it, and we were able to now invest in new players: Douglas Luiz, Nico Gonzalez, all these guys. And now it turns out they're all crap, and we don't want them. And we're in the exact same situation, except being at the end of that cycle, we're now back at the beginning of that cycle. So we almost have to just bide our time.
I don't know if there's an answer to the question, like, are we on a path to greatness or success or anything yet right now? Because people are going to hate this, but this is like a year zero. Like, it is a year zero again. Like,
time in a row, right?
It's the third time in a row. It's a year zero where we're not really sure on what we're doing or where we're going. So the expectation is you qualify for the top four, make some funds. Hopefully some of the dead weight players have a decent showing and you can move them on. I mean, we're going to be sellers for the next year or two.
Don't let Skippy read this comments, guy.
Yeah, Skippy's obviously a Tudor fan. He's got in the comments. It's fine, whatever. You're allowed to be a fanboy, I guess.
No, absolutely. Look, my point is the team hasn't changed incredibly, right?
No.
You need a balanced team, which we don't have right now. I think we are absolutely mid in terms of quality. You have to sprinkle in youth. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you have to have a mix of experience and youth and actual quality as well. And we don't have that too much, in my opinion. Like, we don't have a whole lot of really like great players. Like, we have good players, we have above average players, and we have a ton of below average players.
Lloyd Kelly's.
And yeah, players like that. You said the name, not me. And that's a problem. Like, your ceiling is still whatever the players give you, and then formations and everything, you can fill that out, like, depending on the coach. But our team right now and the players we have is not set up for a 3 or 5 man backline. That's the problem. And that's why we, just as an explanation, were doubting Tudor.
And we still do.
And still do, because the team is not set up for him correctly. Now, if you change that, João Mario is a first step for that, for example. He's a classic wingback or right-sided midfielder that does a little bit of work defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is almost like, I don't know. He does less even defensively than Cancelo, but no, overall, like, he is a winger that got pulled back a bit, like, from his winger duties, and to do much more up and down running, and that suits Tudor more. That's like the first transfer he got that actually fits him and his style, like running up and down the pitch the whole game, and that's what Joao Mario does. But overall, like, the team is still not set up for that, and that's the problem. I don't know if we can find in this summer a team that will gel with Tudor. And that's why I thought it would have been easier to get a young coach like Palladino. That was my opinion. And get some young players, get some, or we already have the experienced players, right? Maybe get another center back next to Bremer, and then that's it. Like, you don't need to reinvent the wheel, right? Because we have so many players already that we can't get rid of. And that would have been easier for carryover. That would have been more sustainable. But in the end, they went with Tudor, who they already had at the club, and extended the contract, which probably was cheaper for the club. And now, like, just punctual additions to add into whatever he needs. But at least what is good in my opinion, it seems like Komoli as the not sporting director. What is his job title?
General manager.
General manager. But it seems like we have one that is looking into our financial books responsibly, at least, and that's something, man. Like we didn't have that for a while.
Yeah,
we thought Junti will be that, but Junti absolutely effed up and got us a couple of more players that we didn't need.
Here's the reason why we can't keep all of these guys. Where are they all going to play? Because Sule is not starting over Conceição and Yildiz, neither is Mbangula. That's the reason why Mbangula is gone. The only player that I could see that could potentially start consistently would be Huijsen, where he has a good shot at starting. But you think that right now, you think that Fagioli or Ravella is going to take off Thuram and Locatelli?
Ravella had a really good year last year. I'll give him that. I'm still convinced
but would he start ahead of Locatelli and Thuram? That's the question.
Exactly.
And if Koopmeiners is fit and there, will he start ahead of Koopmeiners? And if Douglas Luiz would have played, would he start over Douglas Luiz?
Or even McKennie?
Yeah, over McKennie, yeah. Sorry.
And knowing how, like, for example, Tudor plays. Yeah. Fagioli, I'll tell you, Fagioli's not physical enough to play in a Tudor midfield.
He cries a lot. And not for the right reasons.
I mean, Fagioli struggled at Fiorentina, and Fiorentina was a more offensive team. Sky's shocked for how much we sold Mbangula for. That's the issue. You should have. I think that's one of the misplays that should have been done with him is he should have been loaned. But unfortunately, when he's frozen out and you're making it clear that he's not a part of your project, it's not.
Yeah, and we need the money right now. That's the problem.
It's the only easy money we can get. We can't get rid of Nico, Dougie, anybody. It's again, I'm not happy that he went for 10 million. I think it's scandalously low.
Fagioli did not have a better. No, hold on, Dave. Fagioli did not have a good season.
When did he have a good season? He didn't even have a good betting season.
He didn't even have a good half season at Fiorentina.
He had a couple decent games. He had the moments of greatness, absolutely. But he didn't ever put that consistency together. And part of that's probably because he was in the middle of a gambling addiction and he was all fucked up in the head. But that's part of his problem. He's fucked up in the head.
And then Sule picked it up again. Sule picked it up towards the end of last season. He was not insane. Better season than Luiz and Coop. All right. Yeah. If you want to.
In hindsight, yes.
In hindsight, yes.
Did you actually, when we got Koopmeiners and Douglas Luiz, I had my doubts with Koopmeiners. And Luiz, honestly, I would have expected him to work out better.
Yeah, that was the biggest bust.
Would you have expected Rovella, Fagioli, or Miretti to have a better season than those?
I don't know. It's not even if someone says yes, no, there's no way.
You're lying to yourself.
Rovella's in a good system right now. He's at the right team for him.
We'll see how he does with Sarri, because I think Sarri's coming back to Lazio. We'll see how he does again this season.
Yeah, and we will see. But like just in terms of, and this is something I've always said, I don't think the relationship with Juve and Rovella is what was working out there. I don't know if it was so much like the technical ability, but and he still does. Like he's a loose cannon. He has so many cards.
It's not even that. Like, unfortunately, there was a midfield battle between the three back then. It was Miretti, Fagioli, and Rovella got the short end of the stick.
But some of that decision had to be made on the personality, like it always is. I'm convinced there's a piece to that.
Well, I got receipts. We can check and see who called what. I guarantee you people didn't say that Coop was going to have an off year last year. Because even again, I'm going to throw that argument there. I don't think that any of those two. I don't think Fagioli or Rovella is going to start over Locatelli and Thuram, especially for Tudor. They're not. Fagioli's not a great runner. Neither is Rovella. Rovella's a great passer, has better passing ability than Thuram and Loca.
We do need that.
But here's the thing: Tudor doesn't attack through the middle of the field. He just attacks through the width, overlapping wing back and central. Hybrid winger roles. They're not going to fit on this team.
Half space strikers.
Wingers,
yeah. Like we're running in circles. None of us here are particularly happy of the situation, but we have to be realistic with this situation that it's Tudor who's in charge, and we have to get the players that he is going to play in his system. It's no use waxing poetic about a Rovella or a Fagioli or whoever the fuck at this point, because that's not the reality in which we exist.
Nope. And it's just more so. It's just more so saying like, great, we keep them, and then guess what? They get bodied in the middle of the pitch, and then we start losing games.
Look, ideally, we would have liked to keep all of them, right?
But you can't. It's just not possible.
But you just can't. Look, on EAFC in the management mode or Footy Manager, whatever the PC game is called, you can do that and write the players until they reach their full potential and all of that. But in reality, if you get a deal like Douglas Luiz, which was at that point an incredible deal, you have to take that. Koopmeiners, in my opinion, was still too much money for a player that wouldn't fit, but I would have expected him to do good. But Giuntoli wanted him for a while, so he was always coming in, right? Mm-hmm. And that's already 2 midfielders in, which means you have to send 2 away.
Yeah, and Scott,
that's the reality of things, man. And if you have and the possibility of the mark we bought Thuram for 25 million, I believe, right?
Yeah, that was the best deal we got last year. Just
incredible deal, but overall, like those deals, number one, you have to do them, and Koopmeiners, you don't have to. But since we have done it, you have to thin out the midfield. Even right now, our midfield depth chart: Locatelli, Arthur, Thuram, Douglas Luiz, Weston McKennie, Miretti is back on the books, and yeah, that's it. Like, we got rid of Coupland, we had to, man. We still have to get rid of Arthur, and in Tudor's double pivot midfield, we still have, in my opinion,
too much.
Like, still too much. So what will happen? Either Miretti or McKennie or Douglas Luiz or whoever will go. Yeah, and then you have like, sorry, I didn't even mention Koopmeiners and Arjic, hopefully they will loan him out.
Yeah, no, just nothing on Adjits, by the way, nothing at all.
Yeah, he needs a loan.
Yeah, it's good and well that you said that, but it was still unforeseeable. And if you have that market opportunity to get him for effectively 25 million euros, which it was because we gave them Illing and Barrenechea, that's what you have to do. Because you hope that a player like that raises the ceiling of your team. Of course, in the end, it didn't. And if you're able to get out of that deal now, because now it's all negativity and toxic, and he didn't appear on time for training and all of that, that's of course bad. Now you still can correct that because he still has value, and a lot of Premier League teams want him. Like, that's not a catastrophe as a deal. But if you do that deal in the summer, which they did, you have to correct that now. But to make space for him, you have to send players away, and that's the unfortunate part.
Yeah, like if you predicted the Dougie thing, then you're Nostradamus. The Coop thing, fuck Coop. I don't know. I never knew what the big deal was. I was like, oh, cool, good midfielder, sweet. And then
I mean, even if you look at it now, like Douglas Luiz isn't really much of a loss. I mean, as far as what you've spent, the assets that it took to get him. If someone's gonna say we should have kept Dilling Jr. and better to jail, like, stop it.
Yeah, we have to be realistic to a point. Like,
yeah, you take a defensive midfielder that had 20 goals and assists that season, and you need to just offload Benedicea and Illing.
Exactly.
Illing was good, but Bangula was better.
That opportunity.
Yeah, and Bangula was way better than Illing was, in my opinion, from a technical level.
And we got more for Illing at the end of the day.
Oh, English tax.
Yeah,
but that was English tax because it was Aston Villa.
Yeah. What do we got next? So we don't go down.
Hold up. Oh,
All
sorry.
Hands off. You got it.
Sorry. Yep, sorry. that comment, in my opinion, I would agree with it, because I still think Douglas Luiz has quality that you can utilize, but I think that bridge is burnt now.
And that's the problem. And we can talk
The
about
bridge
Dougie here a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know what you would utilize Coop for in this system.
Yeah, he has no space. That's the problem. You have basically to rotate him and Thuram, in my opinion, because that's the role where you can get away with some box to box play, but that's not his style either. But that's at least where you can get a little bit forward.
He played him in that 10 role a bit well, like not very effectively. He's just awkward. Like he's supposed to be more advanced, but he can't play advanced. But he needs
the right pieces around him.
Yeah. He is also like not good in those half spaces when now Yildiz plays, because we brought Yildiz in a bit more centrally from the wing, and we're trying the same for Conceição, and Koopmeiners can't play those roles, and the double pivot 8/6 or whatever you want to call it, like that's too deep sitting for him as well. Like he's a tweener in between those positions, and that's the problem.
Like I'd rather get the ball back than keep
Coop. And what he had at Atalanta was a midfield that could pass him the ball, and a striker that was good with his back to the goal, which he could play off of him. And the system of Atalanta was set up good for him.
Yeah.
That's why it didn't make sense for me to bring him in if you don't have a striker that can play with his back to the goal, which Vlahovic absolutely couldn't. And Kolo Muani, when he came in, couldn't do it either, honestly.
He might be able to get it out of Jonathan David.
Of Jonathan David, maybe, but now you have to switch it up in theory again to a 3-man midfield, which means 4-man defense, but Tudor won't do that.
He will.
And that goes back to the whole Tudor issue.
Yeah.
And then we get back into these fucking circles.
We get back to this rabbit hole, and we still haven't covered Rugani.
Yeah.
Let's simmer down a little bit because it is a rabbit hole, a fucking vortex. So, I want to touch on Dougie since we were on him and in the midfield.
Nottingham Forest wanting him because Fabrizio just tweeted not even like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I mean that's all Romano's been doing lately is telling us which teams do not want our players.
He's like, news of the day: Nottingham Forest made contact with Juventus for Douglas Luiz with an initial loan and buy option.
Yeah, and this is, and we can get on to Kamoli a little bit.
Hey! If not Forest can drop 45 million for Ndoye, they should be able to pay for Dougie. They should.
But Kamoli is only dealing in absolute terms. He wants the money. He needs the money, which is why he doesn't want to get dicked around. Now, hopefully, it doesn't get to the point where he sits on it too much and he doesn't make the sale. That being said, most of the sales are done within the last few days of the transfer market, so we still have time. We'll make those judgments when they come. He's got a couple weeks, but I mean, time is running out.
It is of the essence, but I mean, I think, look, so like kind of going off of like, for example, with people talking about Rugani and Djalo, the problem is you can't sell them because you don't get much out of them to buy other center backs. So right now, they're only there to effectively play and raise their value up.
Rugani is worth more to you than he is to be sold. That's how little you're going to get for him.
Exactly.
You won't get anything. Like if you're gonna buy him, you won't get more than $1 million, which equally also means you could have terminated the contract as well.
You can't even pay a month of Vlahovic's wage with what you're going to get for him.
Yeah. No, that doesn't make sense. Like his value is also not just on the pitch, but he's a character that you need in the locker room as well, because for how long he is there, he is a captain in terms of his responsibility. He doesn't complain if he doesn't get the playing time, and when he plays, he just delivers, man.
Yeah, and he's great to play against those mediocre teams. He's always been great against those lower table, mediocre table teams. Yeah, he might have a gaff or two, even like in like the bigger serious matches, but at the same time, He's got consistency against weak teams where, like, for example, I've seen, defensive gaffes against Venezia's, right? So,
I mean, Bonucci did that. So,
yeah, right.
The people.
I think for right now, with the assets that you have available and what you're able to move and do, I think he is the least of your problems. Honestly, I really do think that Rugani is the least of most people's problems right now.
An asset, if anything. He should not be a problem. He's
a
depth piece.
Your three big issues. Number one is Dusan. By far is Dusan. 2 is Coop Myers. 3 is Douglas Luiz. That is your 3 top priorities that you need to focus in on and figuring out how to move. And then your 4th one is Nico Gonzalez. Those are your 4 issues.
I want to bring this up because we have to stop thinking in absolutes with things, because these are actual people that work on an actual team.
By the way, I don't think that Nico Gonzalez is as huge on as an issue that I still think Gonzalez has his space, like he could still play or exchange with Conceição on the right side. What, in my opinion, is a bigger issue, like Weah has no space and absolutely like no.
Yeah, but he's not a financial asset.
No, I know, but in terms of having a player on the books, that doesn't make sense at all.
That's
like Nico Gonzalez, I know we paid.
He has some use.
You can use him still.
He's overvalued, but he has some use.
Yeah.
But preferably we move him on if we can.
I agree with that, Sky. I agree.
So yeah, I'll go back to this.
Get Tudor his chops if he can figure out Luis.
I want to go back to this comment also from Sky, saying Rugani is not an average player. He's lower than average and has never improved his game. So that may be true. However, as a depth piece, and this is this exact same argument I have with Perrine, you're not asking for the best guy. You're asking for a guy that can stay at like a 6 to 7 level while not playing any fucking games ever, and that get called in last minute to play against Inter and get a clean sheet. That's what a Rugani is. If you play him 38 games a season, he's not going to do well. But if you need a guy that's going to be sitting there, cost almost nothing on the books, loyal to your club, and can get thrown in, no questions asked, he doesn't give a fuck what's going on. I'm in, coach. Let's do it. I'm going to do a job for you. How much is that worth?
He's effectively become your Danilo for this season.
And the experience. He's got the most trophies than anybody on this team.
Yeah. Ironically.
So don't just look at it at stats. This is more than just stats. And this is, I mean, we're getting back into the Moneyball thing because people are like, oh, it's all about stats. No, it fucking isn't. You look at the stats to see the profiles that you need, then you look at those profiles. Oh, this guy's a douchebag. This guy's got a trash attitude. He's a Jeremy Giambi, so he's off the fucking team, even though he's amazing, because fuck him. Oh, look, we got a Daniele Rugani over here. He hits a few of the check boxes. He's cheap. He's club friendly. He's loyal. Yeah, okay, we'll keep him on the team. That's how the real world actually works. It's not just like stat sheet, computer, next. There's more to the game.
All right. Do we want to talk about the whole Chiesa can't come? Because I have no idea what this is.
And by the way, do we have like any backup for Yildiz right now?
No. Coop, technically.
I mean, I can't.
I mean, Coop Myers, technically.
Dude, we are so cooked if he gets an injury or whatever, man.
Yeah. So, Dave, the whole Chiesa.
So yeah, Chiesa, it was more just to take a piss at him because his famous agent, Ramadani, he's been shopping around all over Serie A.
Nobody wants him?
Nobody wants him. Now, Liverpool are going to need between 10 to 15 to make their money back. And it's one of those situations, again, it's probably for a Liverpool who has a good deal of money that they can just throw out. Yeah, you keep a guy like Keys. Oh, sure, he's a third, fourth stringer. You throw him in for the tournaments.
Liverpool don't even care if they get rid of him or not.
No.
For them, if they need him in the Carabao Cup, or they will play in the Community Shield against Crystal Palace in 1 or 2 weeks, like that's where he will play. Or in the FA Cup versus a third division team or something like that. That's where he will get played. I'm sorry, but that's where they played him last season. And it's not like he will all of a sudden get huge playing time. But
even though they sold Luis Diaz and lost Diego Jota.
Yeah, but they're looking for another left winger, dude. If they get Rodrigo, will he get playing time on the left side?
Nope.
And even on the right side, if Mohamed Salah goes to AFCON, do you think they will start him for that whole month? Nope. Or will they play Wirtz on the right side, switch him over, play, I don't know.
I think he's only played 5 games, Sky.
Yeah. I want to say 4, but it's single digits, yeah.
5. No, because he got his Premier League medal, so he played. He made 5.
Yeah,
he made 5 appearances. He made 5 appearances.
For 36. It was something. I got to look
36, 37 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, he had under 90 minutes the whole season for the Premier.
And why doesn't Slot like him? If I was to take a wild guess, never have met this guy in person, it's probably because he's got a bit of an attitude.
Sky says injuries, right? No, it's not injuries.
At the start of the season, for the first month or whatever it was, there was an undisclosed injury, and after that, it was just, I'm sorry, but the reports said behavior and training, lazy, and all of that.
104 minutes played, average rating of 6.35, started 1 match of a total of 6. That's the whole Premier League season.
Man, Chiesa's not good enough.
And by the way, the other rumors why no Serie A team want him is that he reportedly still wants his 7 million or whatever. He doesn't let it go, man, or his agent. Mm-hmm. So,
and yes, he did play a few.
Trust me. The transfer fee is not the issue.
It's the salary.
almost every Serie A team can put 10 million on the table for him. Like Como, Como's rich. They could do it anyway. But any mid-table Serie A team could do that, and they're not, and there's a reason for it, man. He doesn't want to sacrifice his salary.
9.36 million pounds, which is 10.8 million euro. Way too much.
Yeah, but they got him for cheap, right? They gave him a bigger salary, but bought him for cheap. Yeah, and he wants close to that, of course.
So once again, his agent isn't doing him any favors because there was no talk of reducing his salary. He'll sit there.
You know way too much about Chiesa's preseason games. I hate to admit, but I watched them, and congratulations for that. For that goal and assist, but doesn't mean shit.
But those are the types of games that he's good for.
Do you remember his first assist for Liverpool? And was it the FA Cup or Carabao Cup where he tried a shot, fluffed the shot, and then I forgot who it was, picked up the shot and scored it, and that was considered an assist. And there's a reason for it. And Egan, you as the Liverpool guy, you can confirm, right?
Yeah, there's truth into that. He's
he played 0 minutes against Milan. That's all you need to know.
Anyways, I didn't mean to deep dive into Chiesa. I more wanted to just take a little bit of poke at him, but yeah, that's the situation.
But it seems like we still have to explain why he left and why nobody wants him right now. It seems to be if it barks like a dog, looks like a dog, shits like a dog. Sometimes it's just a dog.
Oh, I should make a poll for this next one. I'm going to do that. Moretti or McKennie? Apparently, we got to choose. So I'm going to put a poll of Moretti or McKennie.
I would sell McKennie. Why? Because you have to run.
That's
honestly, fair. No, yeah. I think so, right? Because, for example, I would honestly literally put Moretti because you have more upside with Moretti than McKennie, and now that you're running a double pivot midfield.
Egan, what was it? Was it the Carabao Cup game versus West Ham, like you said, where they blasted them? Was it 5-1 or something like that? Didn't they absolutely destroy them in the Carabao Cup, or was it the FA Cup? What in one of those? I believe. Oh, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I remember something along those lines.
The poll is up. 2 votes at 50-50. Obviously, not a good data set yet, so roll those in.
Hey, you see? Your boy remembers.
Yeah, I think for me again, I think you keep Moretti because you don't have a awesome. Thanks, Boss Nos.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh my God, is that Boss Nuss from Star Wars? The Boss Nuss?
I don't know that reference, and I know Star Wars. It's got to be.
Yeah, I think again, like for
Boss Nuss
Oh, yes. I know
was
who he is.
the Gungan king / general, like the ruler. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. No, I know who that is.
Yeah, man. Dude, if
Yeah.
you're that nerdy and into Star Wars and you call himself, hey, you're an actual Star Wars nerd, man.
Look, I'm looking at it from that perspective where, because like I understand Sky where McKennie is like a Swiss Army knife, but the problem is we've got so many players in so many positions where I don't know where else you would, like, what would you need him to be a Swiss Army knife for? Because it's just
I do love that though.
I love that, but at the same time, you would hope that Moretti would grow into an actual like behemoth midfielder in a sense, creative midfielder that helps your team out. And he could do multiple things. Like Moretti can spread the offense. He's played left wing at Genoa. He's played as a 10. He's played as a half space midfielder. I think offensively going forward, I think Moretti, just because of where he could go, I think his potential is a lot higher than McKennie's. I think again for me, McKennie is a guy your first option off the bench on a contending team where he plays the cleanup role. And I don't think Juve need that right now. And honestly, like, don't get me wrong, I like McKennie. He's got a motor, he's got an engine, and he's just aggressive and he plays hard, but you need creative skill position players because Juve's issue right now is the low block. Juve cannot break a low block to save their life. Why? Because the only technical player they have is Yildiz, and Yildiz gets triple teamed every time we play a low block.
Yep.
Right? So it's like, I don't know. For me, Moretti did well at Genoa. I thought he had a good loan spell at Genoa where he started getting more regular playing time. I'm fine with keeping Moretti over McKennie. I think McKennie is again a solid depth option, but I don't see the benefit of it right now when you have a midfield of Thuram and Locatelli as your main pieces, and then you factor in Koopmeiners, Luis, and then Moretti. I don't know. Because even as the fullback position right now, right? You've got Mario, you've got Savona, and then on the left you've got Cambiaso. You still have Kostic. You haven't moved Kostic. You've got Cabal. You've got a bunch of other pieces that you have there right now. So I'm not too sure. Ideally, if you have to sell one, I think McKennie is the one that you sacrifice for right now, unless you're somehow able to get a $50 million deal for Koopmeiners, which is not going to happen.
No, well, this is specifically between the two. The club's alleged to have to choose between them because of the amount of space. So that kind of goes back to the previous conversation. There's only so much space for these guys, even for, more seasoned dudes. The one thing I would throw in there is Moretti's probably an easier sell and will get you more money. So from that perspective, But
McKennie could fetch you 15, Moretti could fetch you 18. That's honestly what it is.
Yeah, not huge differences, but I think Moretti is coveted within Serie A and can be easily moved as well. So that's going to be a bonus. McKennie, I mean, he's technically on the market. He's always on the market and he's not being moved. So it's clear that he might not be moved.
Absolutely not, Sky. Absolutely not.
We will make it through in the what is it? Not group
league
stage. We make it through in the league stage because like there are a couple of dog shit teams that make it into the Champions League with how many teams are in it now.
You just have to be better than 8 teams. That's honestly it.
Yeah.
You just have to be better.
We'll make it through, and then depending on the draw, like we might even. You saw, we lost to Feyenoord. Sorry, to Eindhoven, right? So, yeah.
Oh, this is
think that we will go far.
This just came in.
We offloaded Ravella like 2-3 years ago, Eddie. Like we gave him to Lazio on like a 2-year loan like 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's
but I think we Was it last summer or this that we cashed in? Or because it was a 2-year loan when 2-year loans was and we got the Pellegrini money as well finally, which wasn't a lot as well, but
it was like 5.
Yeah.
The thing is, if he's under contract though, and he doesn't want to move, I mean that's why you sign contracts. That's just how the business works. That's nobody's fault other than the guy that signed the contract. So, I mean, you yell at it all you want. That doesn't fix anything.
Yeah,
but this article I just pulled up came out 20 minutes ago.
Kamoli, he's here and very curious about the history of the. This is kind of like the same thing, like with Man United and having Rio Ferdinand do like Peyton's travels, but Rio Ferdinand's version of it. They're just trying to draw some kind of, because like my friend, she's in Chicago right now, following Man United. Bless her soul. She's like, yeah, there's like barely anybody here trying to like see the team or anything like that. Like morale is down, so they're having Rio Ferdinand just kind of like follow the team and go to like different restaurants and blog about it. So this is what I see this as, is I see Kamoli trying to generate some excitement for the fan base because shit, there's nothing to be excited about.
I mean, in a sense, he's getting his hands dirty if that's the case, right?
It's so optics, Dave. It's optics.
No, it's optics, but you know how many managers are willing to kind of throw their face forward like that and try to make the team work.
Look, I appreciate the gesture, right? Like the gesture is great. I just right now you need results. Like this is something cool. This is something cool when the results are coming and you can see this. But
it's off season though.
Yeah, I don't know. I just see where it's like
I don't mind it. If it just means he's getting involved, if this is just his natural personality and he wants to get out and do these things because he's just a community type of guy, then sure. But yeah, if it's all
what is Guido saying here? So for my impression, he's taking the hardline approach. If Vlahovic stays, for example, he will not play any games. Okay, well, fantastic. Weah scrapped the transfer, and now he's making him pay with for this refusal. Juve have been too lenient as of late. I think he wants to reverse this trend. Perhaps he wants to establish their relationship with agents again. Well, that's interesting.
And this is news that's been kind of trickling out. So I don't think this is like new news. This is just Guido's take on it. But yeah, he's pissed off. Essentially, so the Weah deal. I mean, we can just flex into that.
You know, there's interesting things going about that Weah deal, right? I've just been reading. I don't know again all the context, and I don't want to start a Twitter war here. But like for example, apparently Mirko Di Natale made like a fake interview up, and then Adam Luciano is like calling him out for it, and then Adam actually like interviewed the agent and stuff, and there's like apparently like just this whole arm wrestling match of.
I didn't see that.
Oh yeah.
I want to see that because I don't trust. Like I never met the guy, and like I know he's a big guy. But there's something I don't know. There's something
again alleged here. I'm gonna put it allegedly because I don't know all the details. It's just kind of like a glance. But apparently Mirko like said he did an interview, but then he didn't do an interview, and then someone else actually did the interview, and it was mistranslated, saying he was slandering the agent was like slandering Juve and their business, and then it went from then Adamo interviewed the actual agent and was like that never actually happened. So like Forza Juventus is going to release it once it gets signed off to get released.
Ooh, he does some good work sometimes. This kind of shit. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, so Forza Juventus and Adamo are doing it, I think, and then that's going to pop out there. And I don't, again, I'm just saying alleged here, but like yeah, Adamo and Mirko Di Natale were going at it on X for like the last week.
Man, I don't know how I missed that. I did see the whole. Oh, hold on. So I just this is it right here from Forza Juventus. He pinned it. We will be setting the record straight with the agent of Tim Weah very soon. Forza Timo, Forza Juventus. Well, that will be interesting then.
Yeah, because Mirko kind of allegedly, like his phrasing, the way that they phrased it was like saying that the agent was like calling Juve's transfer business bullshit and messed up and really kind of like bashing the club and stuff. So I'm curious to see that beef go or how that's going, because yeah, Adamo and Mirko were going at it on Twitter for like the last week.
See, I love this in the sense because there is so much crap out there. We all know that these guys are trying to get clicks. Mirko, that's his job, is to get their job. Yeah, this is part of it. Now, there's a certain ethics involved, and I get that, and I'm not here to make these judgments quite yet. We'll see what happens. But I did see those reports that things were said about that Way's agents had said things about Juve, and they were not flattering. And it's great that the agent is like, Badu Sambagui. Sorry for screwing it. We'll just call you Badu. That's the same. Yeah, I'm sorry. I struggled with that one. But there's platforms out there, right? And Sports Juventus in this case, they probably just looked him up and sent him a message like, "Hey, what's the deal? We have a platform. Do you want to set the record straight?" And here we go. This is what reporting is supposed to do, right? You're supposed to get to the actual answers, the actual news story. So I am very interested to see what comes of this. We'll report back on it.
Yeah, but as far as I know, I don't know if the deal to Marseille collapsed or whatever, because every couple of days, Fabrizio, for example, renews his stance or goes further into it that we are still in club-to-club talks and that he has an agreement with Marseille that will not be an issue, and it's down to the clubs. So I don't know how big that issue actually is, or whether he blocked another transfer, or I don't know.
Well, I mean, like you said, news coming all over the place. Latest was going back to what Kamoli was reported of saying, "I'm not going to give any deals. We're getting screwed over. No more." So he just rejected the 15 million deal from Marseille. Now the reports are they're going to come back with a better deal, and we'll see tomorrow. But it's muddy. The situation is muddy right now. So once again, this interview, maybe it will clear a couple things up for us.
Yep.
Okay. So that was Wea, still to be determined.
No, they won't be playing. Answer this question easily, just for the sake of time. No, they won't. It's either one or the other. They're not playing together.
No, and it's this formation. 3-4-2-1.
With some questions in the back line, maybe.
Of course, you can literally fill any of the center backs we have right now, like you can do here Kalulu, here Rugani as here Cabal, here Cope Miners, like you can, I don't know, McKenny, wherever. And yeah, that's the lineup. It will be Di Gregorio, center back Bremer, the only one is set. He's the only one that is set, in my opinion, or Gatti as well. But I don't know whether Gatti left side, right side, depending on all the other mid players we have. And Mario, in my opinion, starter right side. Cambiaso left side, Locatelli Thuram starting midfield, and then maybe some games Cope Miners, or if, I don't know, maybe they try something there. Oh, and I realized I have to put Miretti again into this. So
maybe we don't know. We don't know anything. Vlahovic, you got to put Vlahovic back.
No, I don't think he's going to be there. I think he's going to be
so, but 3-4-2-1 will be the lineup, unless he changes into a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. I think 4-3-3 would be.
I was hoping that by this point, with training camp going on, that we would have seen a formation. But we still don't know yet.
So answering this question here, Kamoli needs to explain how he couldn't negotiate for Conte and Gasperini. Yeah, that one's easy. He wasn't an employee at the time.
He wasn't there.
Yeah. And also, they probably saw the dumpster fire and be like,
no, we're good. I think, like, for example, with that one, I think if anything, that's a negotiation gaffe on Elkin, potentially Gentoli, and potentially Chiellini. Those are going to be the three that are going to be your big one. So that one, I can't put that on Kamoli, unfortunately. Like, that's just a little bit too harsh on him, because he just got assigned to Juve, and you expect him to go and negotiate with Gasperini like within 2 or 3 days of working. I call bullshit on that one. I don't think that's true. I think Elkin tried calling and Gasperini laughed in his face. Because if anything, Elkin was the main, him and maybe Scanavino, possibly. But I think those two are the ones to blame for Conte and Elkin, or not Conte and Elkin, but Conte and Gasperini. And again, you look at those two and you look at the teams that they went into versus the teams that we have. Roma was coming off a hot season ending at the end of the season, and Napoli is Napoli right now. So those two are better places and better destinations for those two coaches, and that's unfortunately the truth in regards to that. And if people have an issue with that, nothing you can do. You got to be honest with yourselves. It's a more attractive destination currently.
By the way, even Roma right now seems like a better project.
Yeah.
Like with how much money they are spending right now, the balance they have in their team right now. Like that is a very good and interesting project. So I would understand why Gasperini would rather go there.
All right. What else we got, Dave? We're rounding at the hour mark.
And dude, and Conte was never gonna leave Napoli. No. Like, why would he? He became champ. They qualified for Champions League.
No. His wife wasn't going to leave Napoli. And at the end of the day, Conte is a cuck, despite what the facade he put forward.
Yeah. No, but still, like De Laurentiis spends all the money in the world on the team. Like they're buying young players, they're buying experienced
players. Well, he does
players,
now.
They're going to the free agent market. No, but that's what he has to do if he wants
to
be successful and keep Conte.
I think ADL is dying, and this is just basically like, I got to do it now. I'm not going to give the money to my kids because they're assholes. I'm just going to buy Conte and all the children he wants.
Maybe.
Oh, did he?
All right.
So, okay. The Jonathan David presser, worth mentioning, happened today.
The club wants one, and I want to too in 3 years.
He's saying all the right things.
At the end of this project.
Yeah. It's great, great presser, just like every other new player that you get. Like, hey, first days as Bianconero. This is awesome. Great. I want to do this. Okay, fantastic. Score 20 goals this year. That's all I care about.
Yeah. The interesting, if you're into this stuff, why number 30? It's his dad's birthday.
It's because Dusan wouldn't give him 9.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, the numbers are not set yet. Like you have to by the first official game day, where you have to have every player registered that you want to take on a game day. If Vlahovic happened to be gone until there, he still can change.
Maybe
that's when you have to register them officially on UEFA and FIFA tools. So
yeah, like 30 is. He probably is like, what number do you want? 9. No. Do something else. And he's like, fuck, 30. My dad's birthday, 30. That's probably how it happened. Just something ridiculous. But at least he's thinking about his dad, and he does talk about his dad a bit. So obviously there's a connection there. Got him into playing football in the first place. So I mean, owe it to Papa. Okay. So we'll finish on Kamoli again. We flirted with him. We just can't get enough of him. So this is a quote from Chiellini. I don't know if I can pull it up on the fly here, but I will just read it out for the time being. Now, this is just a paragraph of his quote. I want to pull this specific part out. There was, I think it was Tudo Sport. There was a whole interview with him. Anyways, Chiellini saying this. Kamoli and his data analysis. That's a misinterpretation. He's very data driven, but just because he believes in numbers doesn't mean he doesn't look at the human aspect. I met him last March, but didn't know would end up working together. He's a great person to work with, and he's building the club a new structure that will be completed in the fall. In time, we'll see if it's good or bad.
Cool. Just get results.
Yeah.
I don't even know why that is news, because if you're a sporting director or a general manager, you are dumb if you discount statistics and analytics and numbers and all of that.
Now, here's the thing, though. The community, because we've been yelling about this ever since Hadgeball or whatever fucking asshole out there threw the Moneyball situation out there. And now we have to talk about these things. Even though this is normally not actual news, I wanted to point out this whole human aspect. Now, people that get all pissy about Kamoli and Moneyball and, he's just a numbers guy, blah, 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 fuck Kamoli. Okay, let's take a step back, because if you fucking read or watched Moneyball, I recommend reading it. You actually get a lot more information. The movie's great too, regardless. He Billy Bean, that is, the main character, the general manager of the A's, he 100% knew that there was personalities and that you needed to look at the individual as well. And we did talk about this earlier, how we got rid of Giambi because he was an asshole. He himself wasn't the data-driven guy. He got a guy that never played ball in his life from a Harvard business school, some math major or whatever. He's like, crunch me some fucking numbers. You know what's up. He knew the guys because he knew the numbers. So that's to say that you can't just take this data-driven approach. And I'm appreciative that Chiellini's here because he's obviously reading the news. He's noticing the community is like, oh, he's just a numbers guy. He's just mad. What does he know? No, he actually knows this man.
Yep.
And he is a human, and he does care about other humans. Now, again, like Chiellini says, we'll see if it's good or bad. We'll see how things work out. But this is a very important point that if we're going to go and start getting mad at Moneyball, we have to realize that we're getting mad at very logical things like giving a fuck about a human being. So that's why I bring it up. I don't know if you guys had.
And there were examples of that in football, like already. For example, Jurgen Klopp was a coach that always cared about the character of his players, and all of his players always said how much he is a father figure to them, because like he visits them, he invites them like to eat with his family and all of that. Like he built basically a father-son relationship with his players. And that worked out. They fought for him and they ran through brick walls for him. And you can make it work that way, or you can make it work the analytical way. The best way is always having a mixture of both. Because a player with a good character, a player that is able to sacrifice will always, will make up the rest of the numbers. Like if you're a player that is not statistically the greatest, but you have a coach that can get the best out of you and that you have an understanding for it, and where you can give those last 5% or whatever on the pitch that you have, that can make up some of those numbers as well.
Yeah, this guy's saying AI's taken all the data analysis jobs. It's been going the way of computers ever since they started, right? And that's the whole thing, is that everyone has this data. Everyone is a data guy. ADL's probably a data guy. He's got the exact same data.
But you know what AI doesn't do? Going to actual games, watching the players.
And actually knowing their personalities and the human aspect.
I test.
Yeah.
I test is still, thankfully it is, and hopefully it will be for a while, is still a very big factor in your decisions on if you get a player or not. Like you need the middle way. You need the character. You need the actual numbers, and eye test has to confirm as well, like what the numbers are telling you.
Yeah. So that's to say, I'm kind of tired of people being like, "Oh, he's just a math guy. He's a data guy." Blah blah blah. None of us know him. There was one fucking article that came out when he first came to the team. And because of that one article saying that he was data-driven, that's all we've been talking about for the past 2 months. Move on a little bit from that. If he turns into being just a robot math dude, sure. Well, let's give him some time and space to do his thing. Just with like the Joao Mario thing. People are already trashing the shit out of him. Let him play a fucking game and let's see. Let the whole team play a fucking game before we start losing our shit over anything at this point. It's a few weeks away. We just got to hang in there. It's almost kickoff.
Yep.
What are you saying, Rick? The goal list. Oh, people you need to get rid of. Okay. Susan Macwea. Lord Katso Bensolio. You don't like Bensolio? Never heard that before. Nico 50-50. Coop, one more season.
Oh.
Yeah. I can kind of agree with that. But that's about it. Dashman wants to outro this one. I can feel it.
Yeah. See ya. No.
That's just what we get.
Yeah, it'd be funny. No, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will catch you potentially. We might mix some things up around in the next coming weeks, but we shall see you on the Eurodive Monday. So make sure you like and subscribe. And of course, if anything big drops, we'll whip something up together. And again, take a look at German Dave's Nighttime Walk, where he talks about Luis Diaz.
And you have a video coming out this weekend.
Yeah, possibly this weekend, where I talk about the number 5, the Regista roll. So we've got some fun stuff in the hopper for you guys, and we shall see you guys then.
Thanks for joining, everyone. I'll play you a little bit of nice music here. And see you guys on the next one.